The Centrell Show. She's on fire. Centrell. She will ignite your passion and bring your purpose to life. The strategies she shares will take you to higher heights. Improving your energy, spirituality, your well-being. A better mindset for your journey to build a better you. She's on fire to take you higher. She's on fire to take you higher. The Centrell Show.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Centrell Show. Guys, this is such an amazing evening. I can't even tell you how many awesome things are happening behind the scenes here at Creed Global Studios. We are so blessed to be able to come to you today. We have an amazing show lined up with CEO Kiley Summers of Spendebt. Now, I know you've probably seen the social media posts. Hopefully you're following on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those wonderful social media platforms, and you've seen me post about Kiley. Well, we're talking about finances and how important is finances to our life. It's also important to our businesses. So how do we make our finances work for us? And that's what we're going to talk about. And we're going to see what Kiley has done to make that even easier for each and every one of us. And you can also take some notes from his journey and his story, which I'm sure you'll find motivational. So for me, I want to make sure that you guys are liking, sharing, and following. There's somebody who's going to need this message. We are doing so many things with the Building a Better You platform, and each and every one of them are meant to build a better you. So share this with someone you know, especially someone who needs some help paying down some debt or just becoming a little more knowledgeable on how to manage their finances and how to be better at managing debt. So before we actually get into the show, I want you guys to take a look at Kiley's video so you can see his fintech company and the platform that they have built for you so that you can become debt-free. And we'll be right back with Kiley. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining the Centrell Show. Remember to like, share, and follow at The Centrell on all of your social media. Today, we're talking money. We are talking finances with Kiley Summers, CEO of Spendebt. Hello, Kiley. How are you?
I am great, and I'm so honored and glad to be here.
I am so honored. You guys don't even know how long it has been. I've been trying to get Kiley on this show. I met him months and months and months ago. I was so enamored with what he was doing. I even had my interns with me on the day that I met him and wanted him to connect with them because he's such an example, building his own financial tech company, and I want the world to know about it. So let's talk Kiley first.
Okay.
FinTech company next.
What do you want to know about Kiley?
I want to know everything. The world wants to know. The world needs to be introduced to this man because you're going to see him. You're going to see him somewhere, and what he's doing right now is going to impact your life. So tell them your journey. What's your story? How did you get here?
I'm flattered. Like, you know, with the birds and the bees, like everybody else. No, I'm just kidding.
This is not a show about the birds and the bees.
But I hail from St. Louis, Missouri, and come from very humble beginnings. Just being a little boy, I can just remember watching my mom just work so hard to make ends meet, you know, and being the middle of three is like, you know, it's that middle child syndrome.
Oh, you have middle child syndrome? I think that's a real thing.
It is.
Get
it
that
is.
checked. Get it checked.
But to kind of, you know, give you more context on the story is, you know, watching my mom work every day and trying to give us the best.
Yeah.
Right? It was tough.
Right.
And I always told myself if I had an opportunity to change the dynamics of my family, or for the family that I would have or I have today, and I would focus on finances. And so it was a little bit of a lot of experience over the last 34 years of my life that really got me to this point. And all glory to God of where I am and being in a position to have a fintech company or a financial technology company to help those. And just, quick plug, Spendebt is the name of the company, and it's designed to assist people to pay off debt, leveraging micropayments through everyday transactions. And so just growing up, just kind of having experience, watching my mom do her best to try to, rob Peter to pay Paul, make ends meet. And then fast forward, I had the opportunity to go to college and get a degree. But, at 2007, when I graduated, a year later, I found myself in $70,000 of debt.
Education costs.
I'm starting.
Right?
I'm starting to sweat just thinking about it. I'm starting to sweat.
He's even lost his hair over it. So
it's a real thing.
That's a real
It's
thing.
a real thing.
So a lot of people out there are saddled with
Yep.
student loan debt, and for years and years and years, and not just student loan debt. You may have built a business or something of that nature. You have debt. You have credit card debt.
Yep.
Things where you're trying to build something, you have to invest a little bit of money, or you have to spend money before you're making money. Either way it goes, you have debt.
Yep.
So you had student loan debt.
I had consumer debt. So 70,000 of consumer debt, 30 of which was student loan debt, right?
Okay.
So, first generation graduate, had a good engineering job, fresh out of school, some nice income. I wanted to
You were balling,
treat
right?
myself a little
Right,
bit,
right.
right? So I got the whip, the vehicle, and bought furniture, and before I knew it, I racked up that bill, right? And you got to pay the bill. There's no ways around it. You got to pay the bill. You got to
pay it.
And
it's
so
the right thing to do.
it is the right thing to
Yeah.
do. And so at that moment, it's just kind of it was a reflection moment to think back to watch my mom work hard to make ends meet. So either I can fall into that trap, the rat race, if you will, and continue to try to chase myself, trying to pay down interest, trying to pay down the principal, and just steady get myself further, or I can stop the bleeding and start where I was. And I think that was the important thing for me at the time, is understand what the score was, which understanding, hey, I had $70,000, which I racked up myself,
Absolutely.
right? Can't blame nobody else but myself. And, just draw the line in the sand and say, okay, from this day forward, I'm going to do my best to pay down this debt.
There you go.
Right.
So he made a conscious decision. So we have debt. We recognize that we have debt.
Yep.
The number's high. You got to stop the bleeding. You have to stop spending,
Yeah, you gotta
right?
stop spending.
Because the more that's going out and you're not making the money to pay it down, well, guess what? Interest piles up.
Yep.
That bill gets bigger and it becomes harder and harder to pay
Absolutely.
down. So you have to recognize, one, that you're likely spending more than you're actually bringing in, and then you have to reel that habit in, that behavior in. And then once you do, now you need Kiley. You need Spendebt so that you can start helping to bring that bill down to zero.
So what I would, just thinking back to my journey and my story, I started as a single man, or if you will, going through it. But fast forward to 2015, it was then my wife and we was able to do it together, right?
Yeah.
And we added to that $70,000 when we became one.
Right.
It was a little over $100,000.
One debt.
One debt over.
One family, one
debt,
debt.
yep.
So now you can combine.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic and discussion for a whole
It
nother
is.
day.
They did it though.
Yeah,
So
we did
just
it.
Take that nugget.
But what I would say is we had to work at it. And there was no tools in place at the time. And if there was, I didn't know of them.
Yeah.
But there was a Dave Ramsey, there was a Susie Orman, there was financial advisors. And we had a good financial advisor. And he came in and he was like, hey, just go research all of your debt. Let's put it all on the table. And so we was able to do it. We was able to rack and stack it, from the lowest amount down to the highest amount. And we began to snowball effect, right? You pay the minimum on everything from the second debt all the way down.
Until the one except for the one
and
you
then
want
you
to
pay
off.
you pay as much as you can on that top one, and then
Yeah.
you just let that snowball just kind of roll down until you get rid of the biggest one. And manually, what we did was every month we was adding a little bit of extra on top of that debt, and that's how we became debt free. It was over a 7-8 year period.
Oh, wow.
It took some time.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight, right? I didn't get in debt overnight, right?
Right.
So it wasn't going to, be released, if you will, overnight. And so we had to work at it.
Everything takes time, and you have to be willing to work at it, because at the end of the day, you worked a plan, you became debt free, and then you realized freedom. You were no longer saddled with, oh my goodness, I don't want to even see what's coming in the mail.
Yeah.
I don't even want to look at the numbers, because most people don't create a budget because they don't want to look at the numbers. They don't want to look at the fact that they have racked up all of this consumer debt, as you said, consumer debt, which is credit cards, loans, things like that. And then they look at how much money they're actually bringing in, and they're like, oh my God, how did I do it? You can get out of those situations. You just have to make a decision now to start where you are.
You have to start where you are.
You have to start where you are, and then make a plan.
Yeah, and one thing I would say, I was fortunate enough to get a degree in engineering, so I had a good job, right?
Yeah.
And I think one thing to keep things in perspective, it's not about how much you make.
Yeah.
It's about what you do with what you make.
Well, there you go.
Right? Because we see all the time how many athletes get to the NFL, NBA, or any other top-notch career, and they get these big checks, or even people that win the lottery.
Yeah.
They get all this money, but then years later we find them in bankruptcy, or we find them in debt, or we find them without. So again, it's not about how much you make, it's about what you do with what you make.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing. And a lot of people always say, well, I don't have money. Well, I would challenge anybody to say that they don't have it. Because I think they can find ways to save.
Absolutely.
Or ways to find, a pair of shoes at a discount price. I get it. We all want what we want. I made mistakes. I bought some things I probably shouldn't have bought.
You're wiser now, right?
Right. But it's all about being wise and being thoughtful in the approach.
Yes.
To handle our finances, and not being afraid, and not being.
That's a good one.
Because
the fear of it all. Well, it's not just the fear of it all. I think a number of people, they have pride. They don't want to share that they've gotten themselves into this situation. So not only are they fearful of the fact that maybe I can't get out of this, they're fearful of the fact that what are people going to think? I have this nice car, I have this nice house. People don't even realize I can't even enjoy it because there's so much to pay. So there are people all over the world are living outside of their means, and sometimes it's for reasons that they couldn't control. We're talking about student loan debt and consumer debt and credit cards and things like that. Sometimes those things are used for medical bills. Sometimes they're used to help family members, in tough situations. So we get it. Things happen. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Now when you know that those things have happened, you just have to put a plan together, address it.
You have to do something. You have to do something.
You have to take
take action. Take action. It's a tough topic. To be real, I think I heard a stat the other day. As I was sharing with you before we came on live, is as a consumer, I'm going through Dave Ramsey financial peace. I think at the end of the day, I still got to continue to learn. I got to continue to be all right, because I want to be able to help others. Yeah. Right. But the stat that was given is 88% of the people that we know and we touch are living paycheck to paycheck.
Ooh. Are you part of that 88%?
That's crazy.
Well, because, honestly, let's be real about it. I've been part of that 88%, so everyone falls into that pot. Maybe you fall into it and you're no longer in it, or you're currently in it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And it's a human thing. I don't think that you should be embarrassed by it. You should just be ready to find the solutions. Like you're learning. Yeah. He's learning. The CEO that's providing you with tools and ways for you to reduce your debt through spending is learning. So that should say something. We all have to sharpen our sword. We all have to lean on each other, find out what other people are doing to improve themselves, and then ask them, what did you do? So that you can do the same thing.
Don't be afraid to learn.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. I mean, I was telling a group not too long ago, at the end of pain, there is success. That's a Dr. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. That's one of his quotes. But at the end of pain, there is success. Yeah, it hurts. It hurt me, to watch that number grow from 0 to 70, essentially like overnight when they was.
Because it don't take long to spend it.
Exactly, it doesn't take long, but
Swipe.
but if you think about the pain from 2007, 2008 to 2015. But now I can live the rest of my life and not have to have that heavy burden.
Yeah.
Right. And so the next thing that I think about, is legacy, because I think that's very important to me. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I want her to be able to start years and years ahead of of me. But that's Kiley in a nutshell in terms of kind of where we started and humble beginnings to getting a degree and finding myself in, below that threshold of finances and in debt. And didn't know how I was going to get out, but found a way. Shout out to my wife, who just kind of a partner, life partner to do life with, to help me and help us create a way for our family now. And it afforded me. Now this is the blessing in it all. It afforded me the opportunity to sit here today with you.
Oh, well, there you go. We're going to have to talk about that, because I want to know what that means. Kiley is creating legacy. He's telling you how to create legacy and also to start the next generation off in a better financial situation. Remember to like, share, and follow at The Centrell on all your social media, and share this with someone who needs it. Finances are a means to acquiring the things we need in life. We get it. We just have to be smart about how we use them. We'll be right back with more with Kiley. Welcome back. We are so hot in here. I'm just kidding. Creed Global Studios, we are lit talking with Kiley Summers. We're talking legacy, partnering up, and what that means to your finances, and then how do you spend your debt away. So, Kiley,
Yes.
so you gave us the nutshell. You
Okay.
told us what you were doing, how you did it, and why you did it. So let's talk about Spendebt,
Okay.
So walk us through the tool, how people can use it. And
Okay, so I think it's a really easy tool. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. We only 1 month, 2 months old to market, but it is available at Spendebt.com, SPENDEBT.com. But once you go to the platform, you can sign up. You'll create a profile. All right, you'll link the bank account that you're going to pay from. So if I have a Chase checkings account, I'll link my Chase checkings account. Then you will link the debt account that you want to pay. So if I have Fed loan, student loan account, I can link my Fed loan, student loan account. Then after that, you define your micropayment. So for today, let's say it's $1, but it's really anything greater than 50 cents. Once you do that, you can set essentially a budget. So if you don't want to spend no more than $100 a month using my platform, you can cap it at $100 a month.
Okay.
And then after that, you just set it and you forget it. And so as you go buy your favorite cup of coffee, let's call it $5 for today's example, you add $1 to that transaction. So $5 will go to the merchant or Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee from, and then $1 will go towards your Fed loans.
Okay.
And so throughout the course of the month, you have these transactions. We aggregate all of those $1 payments, and we send that one-time check to your Fed loan to help you pay down the debt, and that's how we do it.
I like that.
And it's automated for you. You don't have to do anything but just really sign up, create your profile, give us just a bit of information, and that's it.
Okay.
And it's all to benefit you, right?
Yeah.
It's companies out there, Bank of America Keep the Change program, and there's other financial technology companies out there that would do something similar. But we wanted to create that third category to allow people to spend and pay off debt. And so that's our tool. And before break, I talk about kind of my life journey, getting me the opportunity, affording me this opportunity to sit here today to create this tool. It's because I'm essentially trying to develop a way so people don't have to experience the same hardships or as much of a hardship I had to experience once I graduated from college. So if you're a college student listening to this, I would definitely recommend, especially if you have unsubsidized loans. That means your interest is starting
Today.
now.
Right.
While
you're in school.
Probably started yesterday when you signed
before you thought about the loan. That's when it started.
So this is a way you can help, kind of manage that interest, right?
Yeah.
Because when you graduate, the money you sign for, you may be paying 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Absolutely.
Right. But if you can manage the interest early, you may only pay one time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the cost of borrowing money, and it's crazy because most people are not looking at the paperwork. They're not looking at the fine print, and they don't realize. It's like I have this check in my hand for $20,000, and then by next month that amount is $20,500, and that's even a short period of time. That may be an exaggerated example. The point is that it's steadily gaining interest, and you're not paying anything towards it. So Kiley was kind of explaining how Spendebt works, and you were talking about setting the thresholds. So I could just log into Spendebt and put in my profile, and then I set up how much money I want to allocate to each transaction for a particular credit card. So let's say I have
No credit card.
No credit cards?
This is all
just
cash
loan?
based. It's debit. It's all debit based.
Okay.
Or you wanted to go towards that
I want
credit
to
card
go
debt.
towards a credit
Oh
card
yeah,
debt.
you can secondly go to the credit card debt.
Because I have credit card debt.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm thinking about myself. So sorry about you guys out there. Hopefully this example gives you a little idea of how you can use it. So you choose a credit card or a loan or any of your student loans or
auto
anything.
loans.
All of those
We
things.
had somebody pay off some of their auto loan.
Yeah.
I had some testimonies.
Well, there you go.
Over the first month, I'll give you 3 testimonies. We had a young lady, she paid $162 off of her credit card debt. Had another young lady, she paid $119 off her student loan debt. And I had one very ambitious gentleman, he paid $280.50 off his student loan debt. These
All
are
of that just from spending, just from going to the places you normally go to and saying, you know what, I'm buying a cup of coffee for $4.30, add an extra 50 cents or more to that transaction so that while I'm spending, I can actually pay off my debt. It's a fix it and forget it. It's one of those things that gets you into the habit of doing something without thinking about it. Like you make the decision one time, and then the decision is continued all the way through each transaction.
That is absolutely.
I love it.
That's it. We wanted to make something very easy, something simple, but we wanted to help people. Because in that moment when we celebrated being debt free,
you get your life back. Like you don't realize what debt is really doing to you. Like it makes you hide. It makes you not feel comfortable in your skin. It makes you feel like people don't even truly see you because they're likely seeing all the things that you've accumulated around you. So being debt free is like giving you your life back. So you need tools like this. This is why it was, and Kiley, I've been trying to get Kiley here for so long because I know that in the future, we will have financial mastermind classes. We will have all types of opportunities for you to experience these types of things that are going to build you up to be better. You will have access to those things right in front of you. That is the purpose of Building a Better You, is to bring these types of platforms right to your door. You have it right here. You have him right here. Learn from those folks that are doing it, you know.
Absolutely.
I consider you an inspiration.
Well, I
you know,
appreciate that.
when I had my intern, he was like, wow, you know, he's the CEO of his own company. And I'm like, yeah, he is. And people need to see more CEOs, more entrepreneurs, people that have gone through something and pulled something amazing out of it. And that's exactly what I see when I see Spendebt, when I see you.
Well, I appreciate it. I would tell you, I don't wake up in the morning, seeing that same thing, right? It's like when you in that thing, you don't really see it, right? Sometimes I think we need to take a step back and to appreciate where we've come, but not to be content at any stretch of the imagination, but just to give, to refuel, because I think it's important. It's humbling to hear those words, and it's humbling because this is a rough journey.
Yeah.
I've been, I left my job May of 2015 to become an entrepreneur, and
sometimes you have to leap.
Yeah, and it was a big leap, but I had the incredible support at the top of 2015. We declared it a year of faith, and by doing so, we've been blessed in that way. And God has He has never not shown up. He has never not shown up. Right?
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, but He has blessed us.
Yeah.
And He continues to bless us, and I'm just very appreciative. And I think for any entrepreneur out there, if you have something that you want to do, and you believe in yourself enough, bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get to the end of life and say, I wish I could have, should have, would have done it. And do it, because you'll learn more about yourself in that 3 years, 6 months, whatever time frame it is, than you will ever learn over a course of a lifetime, because it really challenged you. Yeah. It really challenged you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I love that. So with all of this creating that you're doing, because you are creating.
I am.
You are creating, and it's not just for yourself. You are creating for the world to benefit in a way that allows them to see life differently. So what do you do? And this is my big question always, because I'm always looking to hear what people are saying. What are you doing to build a better you? What is your go-to? Do you have a staple thing? It's like, yeah, that's that thing, and it gets me recalibrated. Or this is a new thing I'm trying because that's going to catapult me forward. What are you doing to build a better you?
Very good question. I really appreciate that question. I think, what I was sharing before is, I'm taking class. I'm still learning, right? I'm taking the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace class. But at the core of who I am and who I'm trying to become is just like Christ, right? Just when you want to be just like Jesus. And my dad used to always say, if I had just a little bit more Jesus. I'm not perfect. I fall short every day. But when I get up in the morning, I go work out. Right, and then once I get home, I'm showered. I'm so excited to jump into bed because I'm tired. I do my devotion, right, and just kind of get that daily word, and I share that word with my wife and family. So that's what I do to fuel me every day. And just spending time, just some me time, authentic, fresh. I don't get to social media first. No, it's like, let me get the word first. That's
let you get that foundation, get your spirit sound and strong before you start bombarding it with what the world has.
And I'm not very religious.
I understand.
But I'm definitely spiritual, and it allows me to kind of build myself up so I can be a better you.
Or
a better me. Or a better me. So that's kind of one of the core principles that I try to do every day. Because I think it's important.
It is.
Because we get bombarded with a lot of stuff every day.
And at your level of the way that you're operating at this point, and you're constantly growing and learning, you have to protect that space. And you also have to give yourself what you need to be strong throughout the day for the journey, because you have a team and you're supporting those individuals and they're coming to you, and there's leadership that's required. So you have to make sure that you have everything that you need so that you can lead them properly. And you have a family, and you're the leader of that family. And now you have all of these people that are out here, they're watching, they know about Spendebt. They know that there is a platform out there that you have diligently put together, not only because you're a leader of your team and your family, but because you're a leader and you're also concerned about making sure that other people are taken care of. That's important.
That's very important.
That requires a good foundation. And so you've done that. So that's why I say building a better you. It's not just the spiritual piece, because once you've done the spiritual piece, like you said, you have to increase the knowledge. There's so many pieces to it. It just makes me confident in the fact that I could use a tool like what you've created, because I know it comes from someone who's done their homework, you know, from a good place.
Yes, I second that to the nth degree.
He's giving me the check. Did you see that? I just got the endorsement.
Boom.
The stamp. That's what I appreciate. So we talked about Spendebt.com. Tell folks where they can find you, Kiley.
You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn at Kiley Summers at LinkedIn, on LinkedIn rather. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. _K-Sum with 2 M's. Follow us, like us on Facebook at Spendebt, to stay involved. And if there's any questions out there, you can email us at info@spendebt.com. Again, that's info@spendebt.com. We'll be glad to answer any questions that we can. This is a tool to help people, and we want to make sure that we keep that in the forefront.
Absolutely. I'm so excited that you joined us. I think it was an amazing opportunity for many folks to be introduced to you and others to be reminded. Check out Spendebt.com. Right now, you can register. So you can try out this amazing tool, see how you can spend your way to being debt-free. Kiley has shown you how he's done it. I'm going to be checking it out. We're going to be doing some amazing things so that we can bring more education in the way of finances to you. So make sure that you support and make sure you do something good for you. And we thank you for joining our show today. Remember to like, share, and follow at Centrell, the Centrell, on all your social media. And don't forget, I say share, and I really do mean it. Share, share, and share. Get this into the hands of those people that you know need it. And just in case you have something amazing that you have going on and you want to share with us, give us a call or reach out to us at info@centrellread.com. Maybe you want to be on the show. Maybe you have something amazing that you want to put out to the world. We are here for you, and we appreciate you supporting us in the way that you do. Have a great evening.